And
should be live now.
welcome to Bless Them Boys, a podcast that's having a fire sale. Oh, I think that was last week's.
Yeah, I didn't update. Yeah. Oh well.
A podcast where both of our teams didn't lose last week.
An intro is still on by.
Right, an intro that's still on by. There you go. We are one Saints fan and one Cowboys fan, one fan of Who Dat, one fan of Dat Win. We're here to give weekly takes, game recaps, bad betting picks, game previews, and the occasional Seinfeld reference.
This week, our patron Cowboy of the Week will be none other than Marshawn Nealon, the late, great Marshawn Nealon. Born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, he played linebacker and tight end in high school, and as a senior, he had 110 tackles and 8 sacks on defense, as well as 20 receptions for 330 yards and 5 touchdowns on offense. He committed to Western Michigan University to play college football, where he played for 4 years. And during his career at Western Michigan, he had 149 tackles and 12 and a half sacks. He was drafted in the second round by the Cowboys at pick 56. His rookie year, he appeared in 11 games, recording 14 tackles, but also missing time due to a knee injury. He was seen as a breakout candidate in 2025 and recorded his first sack this season. He also scored his first career touchdown on Monday night, falling on the punt blocked by Sam Williams to score the Cowboys' first touchdown of the game against the Cardinals. Obviously, we all know what happened. Just want to send prayers out to his family, and then just reiterate what the NFL's been doing this week. Just if you need help, if you're feeling down, if you're having struggle, just reach out to somebody, talk to them, call the suicide prevention hotline. It's open 24 hours. Just really sad to see him go. Just been the bye came at a good time, I think, and I think that it's been good having having Dak in the building, who's obviously gone through this. Solomon Thomas is also someone who's spoken pretty at length about suicide prevention. Schottenheimer, they said, has been a great source, and so they've done a lot of good. I think the guys that they have in the building have done a good job of handling the team, but just hoping that they're able to get through it and just come closer and just understand, get through this sort of difficult time.
Yep. So I will just echo those sentiments. Rest in peace, Mr. Nealon. And we'll get on with the show here. I'm Paul, the Saints fan.
I'm Brandon, the Cowboys fan.
We're your hosts. Now here's a word from our sponsor. Let's hopefully see if I can do this right here.
Yeah, that's it. It's go time. Let's see you lift that.
Mr. Mandelbaum, please.
It's go time.
This one's for you, Pop. It's go time.
It's go time.
You've been married 3 times.
That's it! It's go time!
It's go time.
So it's a little bit of a delay on my. So
we should peel back the curtain for the. We should peel back the curtain for the people.
Yeah, right.
About what's.
So Brandon was having difficulties logging. So usually, Brandon is hosting the session, and I just tag along. Well, tonight, for whatever reason, Brandon could not log into the session. They were trying to silence him, Jerry. And so I ended up having. So I ended up having to. I'm hosting the session. So if the clips seem a little off this week, I'm doing the best I can. Just bear in mind.
Bear with us.
Bear with us, yeah. And if you'd like to give us some feedback on how I'm doing this week or how we're just doing in general, blessthemboys@gmail.com. BLESSDEMBOYZ@gmail.com. We're on X, or what the Kids back in the day used to call Twitter at bless_them_boys. I'm at Paul Elliott _316. Brandon's at Ball from Grace. We are on Blue Sky, even though we don't check it. You're checking us out right now, hopefully on YouTube, which you are. If you are, appreciate you. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Like, share, and subscribe. We're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell the bots.
I will say we did have a couple of likes pop up on our on a few tweets from the Blue Sky account this week because I got notifications on them. I don't remember what it was about, but we didn't gain any followers, but we did get some likes on some old tweets, so we'll take it.
Some old skeets, I believe.
Yes.
That's as I learned.
Learn the hard way.
But yeah. All right, so hang on, I'm trying to find. It's working. I'm work in progress, guys. I'm trying to find. Let's see, where's our? Oh, here we go. I got it. All right, we'll get into some of the football. Excuse me, momentarily. Not so much to talk about from the Cowboys' point of view, outside of the tragic news that we shared earlier, but Saints. We'll talk about the Saints. We'll talk about everything. Get around to what we can. But first, we at Bless Them Boys do pride ourselves on being able to discuss other things.
But enough about fish. I can discuss other things,
All right. So, Brandon, I will let you kick us off here. What shenanigans you get up to this week with no Cowboys to watch?
Since I didn't have to watch I didn't have to watch either of my stupid football teams make me mad this weekend because the Longhorns were also
the Longhorns
were also on bye. Yeah, so I didn't have to watch. I didn't have anybody to make me mad this weekend, which I kind of needed a break from this. So this weekend we had so our kids do Scouts, what was formerly known as Boy Scouts, which is now just Scouts because it's everybody. Okay. Everybody's welcome. They still don't get access to the cookies, which I think is a scam. Seems pretty unfair that the girls get that.
You gotta look to the cookie.
We look to the cookie. The girls need to fork over the cookies. Is what I think. So we had the family scouting camp out this weekend, and so my wife and the kids went out with them. It was about 45 minutes away from our place, and so my wife and the kids went out Friday night. I had to work a little late Friday, so I told my wife, I was like, I'm just going to stay home tonight, and then I'll meet you Saturday. So I went out there on Saturday. Really wanted to watch the Memphis-Tulane game on Friday night, but that was on ESPN. So I could not watch that because I have YouTube TV.
Yeah.
And so I went out there. I went out to the campground Saturday. We went fishing. So my oldest caught 3 fish, which is 3 more than any of my wife or the youngest or me caught. So we did that, and then we did on Saturday. They had they did some skits, and so they did little comedy routines that we taught them, and then also I told a few dad jokes as part of the program.
Okay.
So I had my kid join me for one of them, and I used this one that was I told her, I said, hey, I just bought a dog that doesn't have a nose, and she says, well, how does he smell? And I say, terrible. And so I did that, and I did a couple of other ones. And so we did that. That was fun. And then so Sunday we came back, and we got back around 10:30, I think. And so we unpacked, went to have lunch, and then got back just as I think the Texans game was on while we were having lunch, and so I napped. So after that, when we got home, it was about halftime, and so I took a nap, got up and watched the end of the Texans game, and then
that was the best part.
Yeah, was the nap. Yeah,
Oh, the nap.
that that game. Well, that game was much more entertaining than the two games that bookended this weekend. I would say, which
Yeah.
had identical scores.
Yeah, I
So
took
there
note
was
of that. Yeah,
and then Sunday night we ended up watching. Have you ever heard of Over the Garden Wall?
no.
So it was a mini series on Cartoon Network a while back, and it's about these two kids and they get lost in this place called the Unknown, and they're trying to find their way back home. And it was like it's a Halloween thing, so it's like fall themed, and so it's kind of creepy as well. And so we watched that. It's like 10 episodes. The voice of the main character, who's named Wirt, is Elijah Wood.
Oh,
Who
okay.
is so he's in it. There's
Frodo
Frodo
Baggins.
Baggins.
No.
He there was also John Cleese makes an appearance. Christopher Lloyd is the woodsman as well. So they got
Oh,
some like pretty.
okay.
There's some actually like pretty big names in the show.
Is one of his fellow woodsmen named Marty?
No,
Marty!
there's there was no. They're not trying to get back to the future. Unfortunately, they did not. There was no DeLoreans in this. But it was
Missed
really good.
opportunity.
Yeah, my kids really enjoyed it, and so Alice had seen it before. The youngest had not seen it, and so this was her first opportunity to watch it. Um, and then I also wanted to highlight a couple of albums I listened to. Good Buddy by I think it's pronounced Fontaine. I'm not sure on the pronunciation.
Okay.
Fontaine. It's a Canadian singer. So I would recommend that. And then I haven't made it all the way through this album yet, but San Seneca had a new album come out a couple of weeks ago, and I made it about halfway through and have enjoyed it so far. But it's called High Wallow and Supermoon Songs. So I would give that a listen. More of an indie kind of folk sound there. What about you, Paul? What'd you get up to?
So let me start with. I guess I'm going to piggyback off of your bit a little bit. So from a music standpoint, I on Thursday or Friday last week, a couple of the folks I follow on Twitter did a little thing where they said give me a number between 1 and 30, and and based on whatever number you give me, I will give you a song off of my playlist off like my most listened to playlist or whatever. So and I apologize, I don't remember the names, but of the folks that I got. But the first song I got was an artist called Mitski,
Okay,
Mitski.
Heard of her, haven't listened to her.
So the song that was chosen for me, I guess, I thought was appropriate. It's called "I Bet on Losing Dogs," which, if you've seen my picks this year,
Well,
yeah, I do. It was great, really good song,
especially this week for your.
Yeah, this week was bad.
This week was a little
bad.
rough.
This week was rough. And then the other, so again, this is not whole albums. This is just one song. I did listen to a couple other of Mitski's songs, and they're pretty good. They're,
Okay.
It's kind of that indie alternative rock type sound.
Okay.
So, and then the other song I was recommended was by Haley Williams. It was called "Kill Me," which,
Well, after you bet on the losing
nose.
dogs, that's how, after you bet on the losing dogs,
Yeah, I
that's how
guess.
you feel, right?
I guess. So yeah, I know the music suggestions are usually your bit, but I thought I'd join in on the fun there.
Hey,
I had a very Seinfeldian experience this week, Brandon. So let me set the scene.
Okay.
Last week I had my annual checkup, and so I go in and my blood pressure's been high. I have a history of high blood pressure in the family, so doctors talking through that, and then based on my family, other things in my family history. I don't want to get too personal, but my doctor said, let's do an EKG, which just to be clear,
Like
everything came back fine. Yeah.
But let's just be safe.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just be safe. Right. So I'm in the room. My wife came with me because I had the feeling that I would at least get put on blood pressure medication, which I was. So, but again, we're good. Everything's good. Just gotta make some healthier choices. But other than that, so I'm in the room. It's my wife and the doctor. The doctor's it's a female doctor, and she's like, "Okay, we're good. We'll do your EKG. Just take everything out of your pockets. Take your glasses off, and go ahead and take your shirt off." So I take my shirt off, and the doctor looks at me and looks at my wife and goes, "Yeah, we can't do an EKG today." And I'm like, "Why?" And she goes, "Your chest is too hairy." And I'm like, "Oh." Because I know what an EKG is. I've never had one. Like, this is the first time I've ever had one. So she said, no big deal. She's like, we just need you to shave. And she kind of points out what areas on my chest that need to shave. And she's like, just come back tomorrow or whatever.
Just shave like a random patch on there. That'll do.
Right, exactly. Basically.
That'll look great. That'll look great.
So, yeah. So, and she's like, yeah, just come back in. Whenever, just come in, just say, hey, I'm here for an EKG. It's a follow up, yada yada yada, and we'll get you in and out. And when I did, so the next morning, I shave, and as I'm shaving, all I can think of is Jerry in the Muffin Tops episode where where Kramer's like,
thicker,
you can't go
and
mess
fuller and darker.
It's like you don't messing around down there.
That's an old wives' tale. Is it, Jerry?
Is it? So, and I can't say, and then literally, like, so I did all that. I go back to the doctor's office, and literally I'm in and out in 10 minutes. Like, it's literally like I did all that for. So I'm gonna have to do it again next year, I guess, because this is gonna be a yearly thing. But like I said, everything's good. So grateful for that. But yeah, I the whole time I was just thinking of it's gonna grow back. It does. I will say it does itch. So if you see me like scratching, like doing like this during the,
so when you're taking out the muffin tops,
I'm not. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Or it's the stubs, right? He's taking out the stubs.
Yeah, it was the stubs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another quick shout out to you. We talked about this movie a couple weeks ago, I think now, and I checked it out. It's the Pink Panther, the original Pink Panther movie. From 19 whatever, the Peter Sellers one from back in the day.
Like the 1960s, I think.
Just a wonderful film. I think I watched it. I think it's on Tubi. It's available.
Oh,
it's
really?
out there. If you just Google, yeah, it's out there for free right now. I didn't get a chance to watch any of the other, like the sequels, but
yeah, I want to watch A Shot in the Dark.
I
feel like I remember that one being like the best one.
Okay, I'll have to check that one out. I checked out a new show on Apple TV. It's called Pluribus.
Okay, so don't tell anything about it because I'm saving it to watch it later.
Okay, I won't.
Yes,
but
don't go too deep. Don't go too deep into it.
I'm not. All I'll say is it was created by Vince Gilligan, who created Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and it stars Ray Seahorn, who starred in Better Call Saul as Kim Wexler, I think was her name, who was kind of Jimmy McGill / Saul Goodman's love interest throughout the run of that show. And wonderful. Should have won an Emmy for Better Call Saul, but she might win one for this. I mean, it's a really good show. So I won't go into the details about what
someone did. I think when I was looking at the New York Times, someone mentioned Leftovers, kind of in a way.
Yes.
Like as a
as a comparison.
yeah.
So yeah, someone said Vince Gilligan made his leftovers. Basically, it's like his version of the leftovers. But so again, I won't go too far into the plot. But what I will say is, watching the first 2 episodes inspired me to watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which is this is the 1970s version. So this had been on my list to watch for a while anyway. But after watching Pluribus, it just kind of made sense to watch it. Stars Donald Sutherland, late great Donald.
You didn't watch Plan 9 from Outer Space afterwards?
No. That's no, that one's still on the list. Might be on there for a while. But so it stars Donald Sutherland, and the reason I want to bring this up real quick is because it also stars the late great Leonard Nimoy, and it features at one point in the film, it features a bagpipe version of Amazing Grace. Now, for anyone who has seen Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan, you know that movie also stars Leonard Nimoy, and it also features a bagpipe version of Amazing Grace. So, I've been meaning to bring up Letterboxd as I go through each week when I talk about what I've watched. But if you are on Letterboxd, if you're listening to this, you can find me. I'm Paul Elliott 0316. So I go on Letterboxd, and I immediately thought somebody out there had to have created a Letterboxd list of movies that feature Leonard Nimoy and Amazing Grace being performed on bagpipes. And Brandon, I'm happy to tell you, I found 3 such lists. And
There's
those 3
movies.
people, I can't. You're right. And those 3 people are my kind of people. These are my kind of people. I can't remember. Again, I apologize. I can't remember your names, but I followed you on Letterboxd, whoever you are. So, salute to you. But let me run down my Criterion challenge real quick here. I got 3 movies out this week for that. First one's from Winona Ryder's Closet Picks. I hope she was careful in there, didn't steal anything while she was there. But the movie I chose from that selection was Lost in America. It's stars Albert Brooks and Julie Haggerty. Julie Haggerty is the woman from Airplane. She's the female lead in Airplane. Basically, they're 2 yuppies, for lack of a better word. It's based in the 80s. Albert Brooks works for an advertising firm. He's up for a promotion. He does not get this promotion. He has a meltdown. He decides to, with his wife, Julie Haggerty, go and live, like take a road trip, basically, in an RV and like kind of go, live out of their RV for a while.
To go get lost in America.
To go get lost in America. Yeah, exactly. Very funny movie. I would recommend it. Albert Brooks definitely is like the kind of guy that like makes coffee nervous. Like he's very like he's very Costanza, very very of that ilk. And then the next category is a movie from Africa. The movie I chose was Trances, which is actually a documentary. It's about a Moroccan band, and I won't even try to pronounce the name of the band, but they're basically this documentary follows the band members, and the music is very of that area, like very Middle Eastern sounding music. It's actually quite interesting. It's your typical musical documentary, though. Like they just follow.
Why didn't they call it "If This Band's Moroccan, Don't Come a Knockin'"?
I don't know why. That's a great. Yeah. Once again, you ask fascinating questions.
War, what is it good for? If this band's Moroccan, don't come a knockin'.
But it was probably of all the movies I've watched so far, it's probably one of the most interesting for me because I come from a musical background somewhat because I was in band in college and whatnot. It was interesting to just see music from a different part of the world and like how they kind of, but they follow them around. They interview them. Um, they talk about like one of the band members' brothers had passed away before. Uh, so they talk about him as kind of an influence on them and all this stuff. So, um, and then finally from John Carpenter's top 10. So if for those folks who may not know who John Carpenter is, he directed movies such as The Thing, They Live, Halloween. So those. So he came up with the top 10, and the movie off of his top 10 that I chose is an Alfred Hitchcock movie called Spellbound, which is basically stars Gregory Peck, who people may know as Atticus Finch from the To Kill a Mockingbird movie, and it stars Inger Bergman.
Mm-hmm. I do know that name.
So basically, Bergman plays a psychiatrist who is working at a hospital. They're getting a new psychiatrist on the staff because one of her colleagues is retiring or moving on. I don't know if he's retiring, but he's moving on. So Gregory Peck shows up, and he is the presumptive replacement for this retiring psychiatrist. But then, as the movie unfolds, you kind of find out like Gregory Peck may not be who he's claiming to be, and so it kind of goes from there. And it's a Hitchcock film, so it's going to be there's a lot of twists and turns and mystery, but it's very, very good. It's from 19. I'm going to get the year wrong here. I want to say it's 50s. I don't think it's all the way back to the 40s, but yeah, but very good. I would highly recommend checking it out. I also want to mention, and I'll retweet this from our show account, but on my account, 1945 is Spellbound, for those keeping score. From my account, I did tweet out. So I'm approaching, on Letterboxd, I'm approaching 1,000 films logged. And so I put a poll up on my account. We can maybe retweet it from the show account for what should be my 1,000th film. Now, the 4 films, obviously it's a Twitter poll, so you only get 4 choices. So I just basically chose like a movie from my Criterion Challenge. So like what the next movie that's on the list. I'm also watching one noir film a day for Noirvember. So I have that as an option. And then I just basically chose 2 movies from my watch list that one of them is The Thin Red Line, which is like a 1998 movie about Vietnam. And the other one's The Boxer, which is a Daniel Day-Lewis movie from the late 90s. So, but yeah, so if folks want to,
I was pulling up your poll so I could see.
Okay.
I was going to vote
and
for
then also
striptease with Demi Moore.
I mean, it's a provocative film. I have seen it. It's been a while, but hasn't been logged on Letterboxd.
I want to watch The Substance. I hear she was really good in that too, actually.
Yeah, it's on my list. I was gonna try to get to it for Halloween season, and I just didn't get there. It is on. I think it's on HBO Max right now, if I'm not mistaken. It's on one of the streaming services right now. All right, so let's get moving here. Let's get to our. You alluded to my bad betting picks or my bad picks earlier, so let's talk about them.
Well, let me say this. So I went 3-7 this week, and
Right.
I was like, "Oh
Right.
man, Paul remade up that ground that I did last week." Paul, you did not make up any ground. In fact, you lost ground this week on me.
Well, so here's the thing. So from my perspective, I'm like, oh man, Brandon's gonna catch me. Like he's got to catch me this week.
Not so fast, my friend.
Not so fast. I went 2-8 for the week. I'm 64-46 overall, so I still have a 4-game lead over my compatriot here. You were 3-7, so you're 60-50 overall. We're doing okay though. We're hanging in there. We're doing all right. I'm now all the way down to like what am I? What's my rank? So I think the highest rank I got was like in the 30s or 40s. I am now at 704 on the ESPN here. So how the mighty have fallen. It comes for us all.
3,129 is where I'm at right now, which is not bad given how many people are doing this, I assume.
I'm looking to see. So, yeah, Indiana. I sang Indiana's praises last week about great teams cover, and then they didn't. Ohio State screwed me at the end. Purdue scored, I think, a late touchdown to cover that spread.
What was the
Vanderbilt?
What was the? We must have had like one difference there that like.
So the two I got right were Alabama.
Okay, I got that one.
And Georgia.
Okay, did I have Georgia? No, I had Mississippi State.
Okay, so there you go. So yeah, so I
got Alabama, Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's the one. Because
And
I had Navy.
Auburn with the hook, baby.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt was losing for a little bit of that game, so I kind of didn't expect that one to go my way anyway. But c'est la vie. And then there was a really bad beat in the pro side, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's pick some games here this week. We're going to start. This is actually the game day game. Notre Dame Fighting Irish, number 9 in the country, travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Panthers. Both teams are 7-2. Notre Dame, the road favorite here, laying 10.5. I am going to lay the 10.5 with Notre Dame.
You know what Coach Narduzzi said about this game?
No, what did he say?
He said it's not a must-win because it's not an ACC game.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that.
Good work there. So I'm gonna, given that inspiring speech that he just gave, I won't be laying the points with Notre Dame.
Oh boy. Well, yeah. I mean, it's only college game days there. Yeah, it's not a must-win game or anything. Big Ten matchup here. We've got Wisconsin traveling to Indiana. Hoosiers are laying 30.5 points. You'd think I had learned my lesson last week, but I'm going to lay the points with Indiana.
Yeah, I'm saying this is a bounce back. They'll get back to covering right here. Hoosiers minus 30.
You would hope so. All right, moving on here. SEC matchup here. South Carolina travels to College Station to take on the number 3 Aggies. 9-0 on the season are the Aggies. They are laying 17.5. I think I'm going to lay the points with the Aggies.
I'm laying the points.
Another Big Ten matchup here. Michigan Wolverines, number 18 in the country. They're 7-2, traveling to is it Evanston, Illinois? Is where Northwestern is?
Sure,
I believe. Somewhere in and around Chicago.
Yes.
Taking on the Wildcats of Northwestern, not Northwestern State, which is where I went to school. Michigan laying 10.5 on the road here. I'm going to lay the 10.5 with the Wolverines.
I am taking the points.
Taking the points. Okay. Up next, we got the South Florida Bulls, number 24 in the country, traveling to Annapolis to take on the midshipmen of the Naval Academy.
It's in this game is in the Annapolis. Do you remember that commercial?
No.
Okay, it was a commercial. It was a Capital One commercial. You know the Final Four commercials where they have Charles Barkley and Samuel Jackson.
I think I do. Yeah, I do remember it now.
Yeah. So they were. It was in Indianapolis, but Charles was going. They were going to Annapolis. He's like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "The Final Four. It's Indianapolis." He's like, "Charles, Indianapolis." Yeah, so that's what anytime someone says Annapolis, that's what I think of. Did you give your pick?
No. Now I'd hate to on this Veterans Day as we were recording go against the midshipmen. They kind of let me down last week against Notre Dame. Yeah, I'm
I was right about that. I learned not to trust the troops against Notre Dame, and that lesson proved to be correct.
By the way, happy Veterans Day to all our troops out there.
Support the troops.
Right,
support the troops. You support the. Wait, did you take who did you take?
I took South Florida. I laid the points
okay.
to South Florida.
Okay, I'm taking the Bulls too. I was gonna say support the troops. Don't bet on them.
There you go. All right, up next, the Central Florida Knights travel to Texas Tech, take on the Red Raiders. 9-1 are the Red Raiders. They are laying 23.5 against the Knights. I'm going to lay the 23.5 with the.
I'm laying Raiders. The points. We're on a lot of favorites this week, Paul.
Yeah, that's probably not ideal, but is what it is.
What are you going to do?
North Carolina State, the Wolfpack, traveling to Miami to take on the Hurricanes. Hurricanes 7-2. They're laying 14.5. I think I'm going to take the points in this one. I'm
taking the points. Yeah. Are we on the same? No, there's next. One. We picked like one game differently.
Yeah, I think Michigan Northwestern's our only head-to-head so far. All right, the Florida Gators with an interim coach are traveling to Ole Miss to face the man who may end up being their next coach, Lane Kiffin, if you believe what the betting public says. Ole Miss 9-1, number 7 in the country, laying 15.5. Ole Miss has screwed me this season once before, laying points.
You screwed me again, Costanza.
But Florida's just, against my better judgment, I'll lay the 15.5.
I'm laying the points.
All right, up next, Marissa Tomei's favorite team, the Utes of Utah, travel to Baylor. Take on the Baylor Bears. The Bears are the home underdogs here. Utah's number 13 in the country, 7-2. Baylor 5-4. They are getting 8.5 points out of the Baylor Bears. I am gonna lay the points. The Utes.
I'm on Utah.
Okay.
So you took Ole Miss too, right?
UCLA. Yes, I did take Ole Miss.
Okay.
Last but certainly not least, the number 1 team in the country, the 9-0 Ohio State Buckeyes, will welcome in the UCLA Bruins. Buckeyes are laying 30.5. I think I'm going to take the points with the Bruins.
What the heck? I'll lay them. We'll just have a heads up on that one.
There you go. A classic Big Ten matchup, by the way. UCLA at Ohio State.
Paul, did you say you went to college at Northwestern State?
I did.
So like the Demons?
Yeah.
Oh, their basketball team's really bad. I think their basketball team is like really bad.
Well, so is their football team.
No.
When I was in school.
I'm thinking of the Mississippi there's Mississippi Valley, or it's like Delta Valley or something is the one I'm
Oh.
thinking of.
Okay. Yeah. So when I was in school, Northwestern State, one of my best moments in college was they won a March Madness game. They beat the Iowa Hawkeyes in March Madness. But yeah, I know the basketball team, the football team didn't win a game for 2 years, like literally. Like I talked about that on the show a while ago, because they won the first game they won this year was their first win literally in 2 years. So yeah, not banner times for the Northwestern State Demons, but
Oh, I was thinking of
Say
the
what?
Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils is who I was thinking of.
I believe that is the alma mater of Jerry Rice.
Really?
I could be wrong, but I know Jerry Rice went to one of those schools down there that has a similar name. Excuse me. All right. Anything else college related? Who do the Longhorns have this week coming off the bye?
Georgia.
That's right. That's right. Big.
You are
game.
correct.
Big
You are
game.
correct. You are correct that Jerry Rice did go to Mississippi Valley State.
There you go. Greatest receiver in the history of the NFL went to a team that's
Their basketball
apparently
team
fallen on hard
stinks.
times.
Well, their basketball team has it at least.
All right, let's move on to the professional ranks here. So let's go through our picks real quick. For preseason picks, looks like we were both 9-5 this week, so that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I am 88-61 for the year. I have you down as 94-54, so I'm 6 games behind you. So that's okay. Okay, ESPN in the spread, ESPN pick'em. We'll go with the spread picks first. I was 5-9 for week 10, 64-85 for the season. Brandon was even Stevens, 7-7, 68-81 for the season. I am dead last in our group. Shout out to Donnie, who is taking first place here. He's technically a game and a half ahead of Andy, because I think he missed one game one week. Donnie did.
Probably a Thursday game.
He he went 9-5 this week. So shout out to Donnie. But nobody's over 5. Nobody's at 500 in the group. So this is what it is. But in the confidence picks, Brandon, you took the lead in the group. You went 9-5, 74 points for the week, 91-57. 817 points. So you passed up Matt Eberflus or Brock Purdy, whoever.
Well, it looks like Matt Eberflus or Brock Purdy forgot to make his picks this week.
You know what it was? It's Eberflus. He was on a bye, so
that's right. So we've solved the mystery here.
We solved it. Has to be Eberflus. There you go. Shout out to Andy. Andy moved up to second place in the confidence picks. I'm not in last place because we have another mystery guest who hadn't made his picks. So I was 6-8, 55 points for the week, 85-63, 732 points for the season. So let's get into week 10 here. Let me recap the teams that were on a bye. Obviously, your beloved Cowboys. Their bye brought to you by Bill Bates. The Cincinnati Bengals, their bye brought to you by Sir Parker with 2 R's. Chiefs bye brought to you by Woody Pippins. And the Titans, because they ass, according to their quarterback, their bye brought to you by BW Cheeks. So Thursday night, shout out to actually, you know what? Well, hang on. Let me cue this up here real quick. Thursday night, Javon Walker. Javon Walker deserved better than this. Broncos 10, Raiders 7. I had the points with the Raiders, so I'm fine with that. You laid the points with the Broncos, so you missed. Let's see what our buddy Donnie had to say about this
unwatchable football game.
Well, this unwatchable football game. So Donnie, Week 10 Dispatch is the title of the email. What a truly dreadful game offensively for the Denver Broncos. My glass half full side may argue that they are just run down after not having taken the bye after the London game and having the Thursday night game in the same month. The glass half empty side says this is just what Bo Nix is, an inconsistent quarterback that will make some spectacular plays but will struggle to make ordinary ones. Part of the problem is that Bo seems to just want to throw it to his boy Troy Franklin. I don't think it's a coincidence that Cortland Sutton's production has dipped and the offense has gone in the crapper. Meanwhile, Troy Franklin is getting more targets. To me, that's just Bo looking out for his guy, or looking for his guy. One other thing is that Marvin Mims has been out the last 2 games, and they do a lot of stuff with him, so that may help getting him back. It's hard to be too tough on the Broncos, though, when you look around the rest of the AFC. Buffalo forgot that to win games, you have to win games and not lose games. I got to read that again. Buffalo forgot that to win games, you have to win games and not lose games, and they just lost to Miami. The Chiefs lost to Jacksonville. Baltimore is warming up. It's still under 500. Pittsburgh is falling apart, and the Chargers keep getting injured. The Colts are looking solid, though, so as bad as the offense and Knicks have looked, 8-2 is pretty good. Now we get to see how serious of a contender Denver is with the Chiefs coming in. Again, always love to hear from our buddy Donnie. And he's got another email, but which I'll get to in a minute. Yeah. Look, 8-2 is you are what your record says you are. Sean Payton's mentor, Bill Parcells, said that once upon a time. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what happens this week when the Broncos play the Chiefs. That's going to be a real litmus test, I will say
would say so
for the Donkeys. All right, let's move on to the Sunday slate here. Across the pond in Germany, George Kuntz present Colts 31, Falcons 25. So this is the bad beat I was talking about. I had Falcons plus 5.5, and Falcons were winning a good portion of this game, and then the Colts obviously come back. There's a one point where the Colts were down less than 3, if I remember correctly. And I'm thinking, okay, all the Colts have to do is just kick a field goal at the end of this game. They win, which I had in the confidence, but the Falcons cover. And that's not what happened. So
how about that Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Yeah. So, okay, Brandon, congratulations. You have an MVP vote. I'm giving you an MVP vote. Who's your MVP? And why is it not Jonathan Taylor? Because he's not a quarterback?
I see. This is where I am. Is like I'm tired of the MVP has to be a quarterback because they're the most important. It's like
right.
I'm tired. I don't. It's not fun. Like
right.
That's what bothers me about it.
Can I give you a hot take? I don't think any quarterback this year is blowing away the competition.
Well, that's the other point. It's like I mean,
yeah.
Is it Matthew Stafford now?
That would be my vote.
Drake May is the other candidate.
Yeah. So if you're forcing me to say it's going to be a quarterback, I would say it's Matthew Stafford. But the thing is like, unlike a lot of years where like one quarterback is head and shoulders above everybody else, and you can legitimately say like, yeah, they deserve MVP. Like last year with Josh Allen, it was like, okay, we know what Saquon's doing in Philadelphia, but Josh Allen's the MVP.
Right.
Nobody's having a season like that. Like all due respect to Drake May, all due respect to Matthew Stafford, like that's the only hope Jonathan Taylor I think has. If he keeps doing what he's doing, and the quarterbacks don't like Stafford's going to end up throwing for 4,000, 4,500 yards somewhere around there, which is great. Don't get me wrong. Drake May's doing great stuff, but like
it also helps that like the guy on his own team who was the other MVP candidate for them is like kind of taking a step back into being, not terrible, but like just like, maybe a slightly above average quarterback as opposed to, one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen for some reason.
Yeah. I kind of agree with I think Rich Eisen said this on one of his shows this week was Taylor's probably going to end up being Offensive Player of the Year.
He will.
MVP will go to one of the quarterbacks, and then McCaffrey is like a shoe-in for comeback Player of the Year at this point,
Right?
Because he's just for the Falcons, real quick. So the Falcons, they're just I don't know what they are. Like they've got weapons. Penix looked. Their defense made a couple plays early in the game. Really got after Daniel Jones, and but when the going got tough, they got going. So, it's as a Saints fan, all I can say is that's a shame.
They're one of those teams that like you never know what you're going to get from not even just game to game, but like drive to drive. It's like they can fly high and they can crash just as quickly. So they're still the Atlanta Falcons. Also, that's what I'll say.
Yeah. Speaking of teams you can't count on, Mark Fields presents Saints 17, Panthers 7. And I'm not talking about the Saints when I say teams you can't count on. The Carolina Panthers are the dumbest team in the NFL. I'm here to tell you. Now, listen, I'll talk about the Saints here in a minute. The Panthers went from beating the one-loss Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field to losing at home to the one-win New Orleans Saints.
Are we ready to call it on the Bryce Young thing?
Now, I will say, again, now this is where I'm going to get into my Saints fandom, and if this is me being biased, then so be it. I thought Brandon Staley had a really great comeback game because that Rams game for the Saints defense, well, for the Saints team as a whole, but for the Saints defense especially, was not good. Like it was pretty bad. It was about as bad as you could be. So for them to come back, go on the road, hold Rico Dowdle, basically, make him kind of hold him down a little bit. I don't know what his
under
final
200 yards, under 200.
Under 2, yeah, it was under 200 yards. So yeah, that's. I mean, it's better than some teams did. I won't mention names, but yeah, no, and then so basically what the Saints defense did was they said, Bryce, you're going to have to beat us, and Bryce couldn't do it. So I will also say from a defensive perspective for the Saints, Alontae Taylor, who was the talk of a lot of trade talk, the Colts, before making the big trade for Sauce Gardner, were in on Alontae Taylor apparently, but the Saints decided to keep him, and Alontae Taylor had probably his best game all season. He had an interception, he had a fumble, not a fumble recovery, but he basically helped one of his teammates to recover the fumble. I think it was Pete Werner, by basically like blocking out the Panthers player, almost like an NBA box out kind of thing. But yeah, so really promising stuff from the defense. And then listen, Tyler Shuck's second start, and he looked good. I mean, the thing that impressed me and what a lot of people have been talking about this week is his third down efficiency. If you go look at his third downs, great example. First drive of the game for the Saints. Second down, he gets sacked. The O-line just falls apart. He just gets sacked. So now it's like third and long. Pressure's coming. He gets out of the pocket. He evades the pressure, keeps his eyes downfield, and finds a wide open Juwan Johnson. Gets a big gain. The drive ends up in a field goal, which I think I texted you at that point. It said Saints have their best offensive drive of the season and ends up in 3 points, but they came back. He had a touchdown pass to Juwan. He had a beautiful, I don't know if you saw this throw to Olave down the sideline, like a 60-yard bomb to Olave where the Panthers corner looked like he fell down, which doesn't hurt if you're a Saints fan, but I mean, Olave ends up having his best game after the Shaheed trade. I mean, obviously, Shaheed goes to Seattle. We'll talk about them here in a little bit. Shout out to our friend Trang. But yeah, listen, it's a good way to go into a bye week, right? Like, you pick up a win on the road, you beat a division opponent. This is your second win of the year. You've now won one game at home and one game on the road. Here's the other thing I'll just mention. So the Saints now have 7 games left. They play the Falcons twice. They play the Panthers again. They play the Bucks again. Their other 3 games are Dolphins, Jets, and Titans.
Those
Now,
suck.
I'm not saying they're going to win all. I'm not saying they're going to win all 7 of those games. I'm not even saying they're going to win majority of those games. But they might mess around and
ruin their draft position
and ruin their draft position. Yeah, that's the other thing. Because a lot of people were like, the best scenario for the Saints would be like ending up with the number 1 pick, but Shuck looks competent, so you don't have to pick a quarterback. So then you can basically hold that pick for ransom. Which, if Shuck looks as good as he did this past week, they're not getting the number 1 pick. Like, he's gonna, like I said, they're gonna screw around and end up with too many wins. But like I said, it's good. It's good to see. Fuwanga should be back after the bye. Patron Saint / Cowboy Awesome Richards had to start at right tackle this week, which is not awesome, but is what it is. Saints also traded Trevor Penning to the Chargers. I think we talked about this last week on the show, but I didn't catch much of the Chargers. I guess we'll talk about it in a minute, but I don't know what if anything Trevor Penning did for them. So let's move on here. Dick Stallman presents Bears 24, Giants 20. Shout out to our buddy Andy, the Bears fan.
Shout out to or happy trails to Brian Dayball, because the Giants dropped the ball after this one.
Man, I mean, listen, after they blew that lead, you kind of had to, right?
Yeah, kicking that field goal, 4th and goal is that's not gonna be good for business.
Yeah, it wasn't not gonna be good for anybody. So I had the 4 games on the TV. This was one of them, was Bears Giants. And I looked up at one point, I'm like, man, the Giants are really giving it to the Bears. And first of all, let me just say this. The uniform matchup, Bears Giants, chef's kiss. I mean,
because they did the Giants did the
outstanding
whites with the Giants on the
side, old school, the 90s,
the 90s helmet.
Yeah, I'm talking like it was like I was waiting for Rodney Hampton to run for the Giants, and the Bears had kind of the Bears uniforms kind of don't change, but which is good. They shouldn't, because the uniform situation in the NFL is just stupid. But that's another topic for another day. So if you're the Bears, you've now won, I think, 6 out of 7. I think the only loss they've had is to the Ravens, which was that game that we thought Lamar was going to be back for, but then Snoop ended up playing. And then,
Sneaky.
So they've won 6 out of 7, but people still don't really feel good about them. Like, Caleb's still kind of not quite there. Their defense is, it kind of hit and miss. They do have CJ Gardner-Johnson, who apparently has 3 sacks in his 2 games.
How long until he crashes out and rage quits with the Bears?
I'm shocked. I'm shocked he wanted to play for Dennis Allen, because that was kind of the reason he left New Orleans in the first place, was him and DA couldn't. But I guess when you need a job, you're going to call
your old buddy. Hey, coach, really miss you.
Yeah, yeah. But
I-
yeah,
I wanna br-
yeah. So good.
I want to bring up something very important about
Go ahead.
this. Did you hear about Kyle Monangai? Did you hear about his what he wants his nickname to be?
Maybe remind me.
Big Chungus. Do you remember
Oh, right,
Big
'cause of
Chungus, the
yeah,
rabbit? He said
the
he
meme,
thinks
right?
that's yeah.
The meme, yeah.
I just thought that was funny. That was I
So
picked him
what's
up on a bunch of
what's
fantasy rosters because my running back situation is
so
really bad.
here's the thing. I picked him up too, but then I dropped him because I don't know why. And then I think the guy I was playing this week had him, but wasn't starting him, which I ended up losing anyway because Brock Bowers got 3 points. Thanks for nothing, Brock.
Yeah.
And I also had to play against Jahmyr Gibbs, which not a deal. But
that's a shame.
That's a shame. But yeah, so Bears have won 6 out of 7. They're currently in the playoffs. If the playoffs started today, the Chicago Bears would be the 6th seed in the NFC. So,
Yeah, and
shout out to our guy Andy.
I feel like the Bear. If you're a Bears fan, you're probably just want to see like incremental improvement every week, and just like you're not planning to win the Super Bowl this year. It's like, can we get better every week? I guess that's really the
and can you definitively come out of this season and say like, yeah, Caleb's the guy? Like Caleb's our I know you're probably not going to move on from Caleb after the season anyway, but like you at least want to feel like good about it. You know what I mean?
It seems like he's made some progress. Like he's definitely doing better than he was last year.
Chase Daniel, I think it was Chase Daniel did a thing on Twitter today about it's not all Caleb's fault. Like his receivers aren't really helping him at times. I know Adunze actually showed up this week from a fantasy perspective, which I was appreciative of. But
I did see the insane throw that he had in the end zone, to the corner of the end zone. That's like the sort of ceiling plays that he makes that people get sort of enchanted.
Well, and he had a run, didn't get in the end zone, but he basically set up the go ahead touchdown there towards the end with a big run. Also, we should mention Jackson Dart concussed in this game. They had to go to Russell Wilson. My favorite thing this week has been, why does Jameis Winston not get to play for the Giants? It's like, okay. So, as you mentioned, Dayball's gone. Mike Kafka.
Mike, don't call me Franz Kafka.
Don't call me Franz Kafka. Yeah. Interviewed for the Saints job this offseason. We talked about.
We should also say hi because Andy is with us in the chat right now, joining us for Bears Talk. So he joined just in time.
I was like, yeah. Let's see what he's got out here. Bears secondary is so thin, it'll take a while. We can get it. Okay. Well, hey, I'm happy for my friend Andy. I really am happy for all the Bears fans. My boss at work is actually a Bears fan. He's so
our controller is also a Bears fan. Which it's funny because she grew up in Kansas City and ended up a Bears fan. So
okay. Now I will say, and I don't have it in front of me right now, but the Bears schedule does beef up a little bit here down the stretch. I don't think they've played the Packers yet. I know they've played the Vikings once. I think they're playing the Vikings this week.
Yeah, that Vikings game was a was a tale of two halves.
All right, that was the JJ McCarthy, his one of his good games. Yeah,
not JJ McCarthy, 9.
Excuse me, apologies. So we've got they've got that. I think they have to play the Packers. They have to play the 49ers week 17. I think, which that could end up being for a playoff spot, honestly. That could, because the way the 49ers are kind of, we'll talk about them here in a little bit, but that could end up being for maybe the 7th seed in the NFC. So all the best to the Bears and to the Giants. Can I give you so one rumor I heard about head coaching there was Lane Kiffin to reunite him with Jackson Dart, which I don't. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Andy. He put the schedule here. So you got Vikings, Steelers, Packers, Browns, Packers again, 49ers, and Lions. So you're basically playing your division. Packers twice, Steelers, Browns, and 49ers. So
that's a pretty tough.
It's tough, but I mean, like this, like you just mentioned, the Steelers. We'll talk about them. The Browns, yeah. It's going to come down to that 49ers game. I feel like that's going to be the telltale game there.
I got to tell you, I don't see Lane Kiffin as an NFL coach.
I don't either. I heard it as a rumor. I'm thinking. I mean, the name that's so Belichick's obviously going to come up because of the Giants connection. I think Josh McDaniels' name's going to get thrown out there.
That's worked out well for everybody, and
I'm just Can I give you the scenario for Dayball? I think. I don't know if this. So for me, if I was Tennessee, I would try to get Flores as my head coach and hire Dayball as my OC. What do you think of that?
We'll see. Does Flores still have that lawsuit out there?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but my thinking is because we saw this with a couple teams. The Saints did this where they hired a young offensive-minded head coach and hired a former head coach as their defensive coordinator. The Bears did this too, obviously with Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen. So I'm wondering if this offseason, if we're going to see the inverse, where you hire a defensive head coach with kind of a more experienced offensive coordinator. So I don't know. It's just something to think about. So we now have 2 openings, right, in the NFL: Giants and Titans.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about another potential opening here in a second, but let's get to another crazy comeback. Probably the craziest comeback of the season so far. Seth Payne.
Whoa! I still think I would still put the
Titans card.
Well, that one too, but also the Broncos Giants one was pretty insane.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we'll add this. There
have been a lot of crazy comebacks this year.
We'll add this one to the list, and a bad beat if you had Jaguars plus 1.5, like I did.
I forgot to change my picks, and so I got this one right.
Seth Payne presents Texans 36, Jaguars 29. Texans were down 29-10 in the fourth quarter with Davis Mills as their quarterback, and they won 36-29. Don't ask me how it happened.
I think the Jags went 3 and out every single possession in the fourth quarter, so that was part of it.
Yep.
And then the other thing was on that their drive, not the last, because they got a touchdown, because it was 30-29, and they had the defensive touchdown to end the game.
They had the defensive shout out to Saints legend Sheldon Rankins for the.
So on the drive where the Texans took the lead, I want to say the pass was to Christian Kirk. Was it Christian Kirk? And he was there was hand fighting, and he was kind of holding the guy off, and they called it defensive pass interference. It was a terrible call. That gave the Houston the ball inside inside the 5-yard line. I was like that the Jags got hosed on that one. It was a terrible call.
So that's what because you texted me at one point and said Jags got hosed, and I'm like, because I wasn't paying as close attention.
You weren't paying
to that game.
You're paying close attention to the game with Davis Mills.
No, I was. Well, it was because that was the thing. So I was trying to get ready to watch the Rams 49ers game and the Seahawks game, because the Seahawks game was about to start, and the Texans game still going. And I'm like, so, and then that game and then the Bears game. Both of those games were obviously ended late because of these comebacks. But so interesting. So this could end up being one of these games that we look back at the end of the season and go, yeah, that was a turning point of the season for both teams. Because now the Texans are 4-5, the Jags are 5-4. Neither one of them is catching Indianapolis, I don't think. But I mean, the Jaguars right now, as it sits, are the 7th seed in the AFC. Not saying the Texans can get to the 7th seed, but you know, it's
This game just made me feel worse about both teams somehow. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all this game really
That-
did is like because I was
know
watching
what?
this. I was watching this
You're
game
right.
and
You're absolutely right.
and Jacksonville was like dominating this game, and I was like, man, the Texans really suck. And then the Jags blow the lead, and I was like, man, the Jaguars really suck. so that's all.
And,
that's all I really came out of this game with.
The Jaguars get some more bad news today. Travis Hunter's going to be out the rest of the season. He had surgery on his what was his knee? I think it was his knee. They saw no additional damage. Like they don't think it's going to be he'll be back next season, obviously, but he's done. They're going to sit him for the rest of this season. Andy's son is a Trevor Lawrence fan. My condolences.
Yeah, I know. We have not been kind to Trevor Lawrence on this.
I'm telling you, man.
Either.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to be shocked if he's not in Jacksonville next season. I know they just paid him, but like Cohen, I don't think Cohen's.
I
don't think Cohen's a Trevor Lawrence fan.
There was
Andy's son might be a Trevor Lawrence fan, but I don't think Liam Cohen's a Trevor Lawrence fan.
Did you see a play? There was a play. Jacksonville had the ball in the red zone, and it was 3rd and short, and they called an RPO it was a read option, and Lawrence handed it off, and like the defensive end had crashed down so hard, you could tell like if he just pulls that ball and takes it like he's got open grass, they showed Cohen on the sideline, and he looked irate. He was just like leaned down into his sort of like leaned down as just like he saw the play. Like you could see that if Lawrence just pulls it, like he's got open space. But
now here's the problem for the Jaguars. Let's say they do. There's 2 problems. Number 1, you just paid Lawrence. Number 2, you don't have a 1st-round pick next year because you gave it to the Browns so you could draft Travis Hunter
and then not use him correctly.
Right. And then it's tough sledding for the Jaguars, but we move on. The dumbest result of Sunday, Dick, don't call me Arnold Palmer, presents Dolphins 30, Bills 13. What the hell happened here?
What do you mean? Who called this? Who sat on this? Who sat on these airwaves last week and said this is a trap game? This could be a trap game for the Bills after you go and you win your big emotional game against the Chiefs like you do every year, and then you go down to Miami and you take a dump.
And the Bills have Tampa coming in this week. So yeah, it's this year. You know what? My apologies, sir. You were correct. So
I don't have a lot of victory laps, Paul. Let me take. I'm going to take it when I get the chance.
Well, you're like Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel doesn't have a lot of victory laps either. But so we talked about at the beginning.
Wait, before we go on, did you see him actually taking his victory lap?
Yes, I think
he showed up at the Buffalo Bills bar in Miami to troll him.
Oh man! So you and I think we were down on the Dolphins this year, and we were pretty sure the first coach that would be fired this year was Mike McDaniel. He's still there. The GM is not there anymore. And buddy, I'm starting to think he's going to be the coach next year of the. I don't know. Like,
this is a ride. This is a ride the run out the clock situation is what it feels
I can't
like.
explain it, man. Like, this is another team where it's like you just paid Tua. Well, I think the Tua situation is a little better than the Lawrence situation from getting out of it. Maybe, I don't know. But if you're Buffalo, I was trying to think of this today. There were years where the Saints. I have the Saints as a reference point. Obviously, there were a couple of years where the Saints were really good, like division contender, NFC championship level contender, and they would just lose a dumb game every once in a while. They'd lose to the Browns at home, or they'd lose to like Tampa when Tampa was down. I'm just going to chalk this up as one of those games, but there's some concerning things for the Bills defense at least.
So the Bills, you get one really stupid loss a year. The Bills have already done this twice this season. Like, who was the other team that they just like inexplicably like went in and like laid an egg against? There was somebody else.
Yeah, no, you're right.
As a where they just.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna find it real quick. You camp while I look this up.
Yeah, it's also like another part of this is like it's a divisional game. Like these,
right?
You tend to see those sort of games in divisional games. Like there are times when you're just gonna lose a game against.
It was the Falcons. It was
that's right.
They had
that's
that home,
the one.
They had that Sunday night. It was a Sunday night game or a Monday night game in Atlanta, and the Falcons just boat raced them basically.
Oh yeah, and Josh Allen was like under siege pretty much the entire game in that one.
And the other problem that the Bills are facing, we'll talk about this team more in a minute, is the Patriots ain't losing. Like,
well, that schedule helps.
If you're waiting well, it does, but if you're waiting for the Patriots to like take a step back, you might be waiting for a while. So the Bills need to start stringing some wins together. They are so right now. If the playoffs started today, the Bills I think would be the 6th seed, and they would be traveling to New England for their first playoff game. The other problem that I find is when the Bills cannot run the ball and they become one-dimensional, Josh Allen starts running for his life. Like he's just so obviously James Cook needs to be a bigger part of the offense. I know the receiver, and then I think Dalton Kincaid got hurt in this game too, which doesn't help. So they got to figure some stuff out. The other thing I'll say is like Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator, he was a very hot coaching candidate coming into the season. That might not be the case anymore after this season. So we move on. The Bills move on, and so do we. Leroy Horde presents Ravens 27, Vikings 19. Okay, so J.J. McCarthy sucks again? Is that what our takeaway is from this?
Pretty much. You mean okay. He didn't throw the he didn't play badly. I'm sorry. J.J. McCarthy 9 fine.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't think I saw like any of this game. This is one that I like got nothing from.
I think I had it on the multi-view, and when I first looked up, the Vikings were winning. But then I looked at the stats, and McCarthy's stats weren't like mind-blowing. And I'm like, how are the Vikings winning this game? And then turned back about 30 minutes later, and Lamar had figured it out, and Ravens were back. Ravens are coming. They are now one game behind the Steelers. Like,
who also stink,
just like we thought. Who also stink.
Well,
but yeah, like
I'm hoping that the Steelers are slowly crumbling, and their black magic is wearing off, so that I can claim a victory lap when they end up not winning 9 games this year.
You might be right. I still have an outside chance of over 11.5 for the Ravens, but they got to win out basically.
Right. You know the Ravens, so they're like the Bills. They'll drop some stupid game for no reason at some point.
Well, they got one coming up this week that I wouldn't be surprised if they did. The Vikings they got the Bears, so Andy gets to see J.J. McCarthy again.
The rematch.
Up next, not Salt, but Pepper Johnson presents Jets 27, Browns 20. Somebody had to win, and it was the Jets.
Did you see the stat lines in this game? Did you see Justin
I
Fields'
didn't.
stats?
I this. Were
I'm
they
going to
bad?
pull.
I
I'm
imagine
going
they
to pull
were.
this up because this you got to hear this. They won the game. Remember that. So
Right.
where is it? Where are you, Justin Fields? Where are you, New York Jets? Okay. Box score. Justin Fields, 6 completions on 11 attempts,
Oof. Oof.
54 yards,
Oh my gosh.
and 54 yards passing. Remember that. Because you want to know
54.
what his
Okay. Yeah.
Would you like to know what his longest completion was?
Yeah. 40 something.
42 yards.
Oh my
so,
gosh.
So on the other
So that means.
five completions, he had 12 yards passing.
Well, Fernando Mendoza, you are a New York Jet, or Ty Simpson, or
Somebody.
whoever.
Now, who will be coaching?
Somebody.
The big question now is who will be coaching him because.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like you and I were both high on Aaron Glenn coming into the season.
Loved Aaron Glenn coming out.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
No.
It's not looking good for our patron saint / Cowboy Aaron Glenn. I don't know, man. Like we've seen coaches in the past have like rough first seasons. Like I'll say this. I meant to mention this with Kellen Moore with the Saints. Like I get frustrated, and a lot of Saints fans get frustrated with Kellen Moore because it almost seems like he forgets he's a head coach. Because when you see him on the sidelines, every time they show him on the sidelines, he's just looking at his play sheet, doing his play calls. And it's like, buddy, you're head coach. Like, you gotta can you show a little?
Can you go talk to the defensive guys for 5 seconds?
Yeah, can you? By the way, I completely missed this, so I want to bring this up. The Saints in this game against the Panthers pulled the Leon Lett play.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep.
They blocked the field goal, and then the ball was touched by a Saints player beyond the line of scrimmage. The Panthers recovered and got a free. Now, the Panthers ended up turning it over like 2 plays later, so it worked out. But, yeah, so the Leon Lett rule came into play for the Saints there. But back to the Jets and Browns. Both of these teams are going to be picking in the top 5. Jets are probably picking a quarterback. Browns, I don't think they're going to pick a quarterback, but at this point, who knows with them. Would you, if you were the Browns, so congratulations, Brandon, I'm making you GM of the Browns. Are you just blowing the whole thing up? You're just going to, yeah, I know, right? My apologies. Are you going to would you get rid of Stefanski if you were the Browns GM?
I don't know that.
I don't think it's his fault.
No, but like he's been around. Sometimes it's gone on long enough that you just need to find something new. Like I don't know. He's been dealt the GM trading for the entire quarterback situation over there is a mess because you traded for the untouchable man. You traded for that guy.
Right.
You gave him a bunch of money.
Yep.
And then when everything fell apart and he turned out to actually be bad, you couldn't figure out anything else. You signed like you signed 2 quarterbacks in the offseason.
Yeah.
And then you drafted 2 quarterbacks, and then you had to trade one away one of the guys that you signed, and then you traded the other guy into the division. And so like
it's
if I'm the GM of the Browns, I want to know that I have job security for like 5 years before I like actually sign on, because that's going to take some time to clean up.
Now I will say it looks like their draft class this year, Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders notwithstanding, is pretty good. Mason Graham's look good. Carson Schwarzenegger's look good. Quinshawn Judkins looks like a running back 1. So I mean, there's stuff to build on, but it's just until you get that quarterback. I cannot believe Myles Garrett signed that. I mean, I can believe he signed it because like money's money, but like for him to go on this like press tour where he's like, I just want to win, yada yada yada, and then like, oh, you're gonna pay me $300 million, whatever the money was. It's like, yeah,
I just want to
I'll sign
win,
that.
but for $40 million a year, I can forgo.
I
that.
can lose. I
Yeah.
can lose. Yeah. All right. I tell you,
Next
a team
up.
that can't lose right now. Adrian Claiborne presents Patriots 28, Bucks 23. Oh, let me hang on. Let me cue up our clip here. I forget. I'm on the ones and twos this week. Hang on.
Remind me before we talk about this game. I got one
Get
more
this
thing.
going here.
I got something similar. I got something related to tell you about.
I don't even like Drake.
You don't like the Drake?
I hate the Drake.
I love the Drake.
How could you not like the Drake?
Who's the Drake?
Who's the Drake?
The Drake is good.
The Drake is good. What do you got, Brandon? Before we get into this,
So you remember the artist I mentioned a few weeks ago, Prune, Prewn, like
Yes.
kind of
Yep.
So she posted on her Instagram that she is playing a concert soon at a bar known as the Drake.
Nice.
So I assume that the Drake is good.
I assume so. Well, he was good in this game. Patriots 28, Bucks 23. So for the Bucks, this is kind of a best case scenario. You lose, but the Panthers lose and the Falcons lose, and the Saints ain't catching anyway. So like, who cares? It's a non-conference game. I don't know if you saw Mike Vrabel after the game declaring the Patriots the NFC South champs because they swept the NFC South, which.
This is
Sure. I mean,
a low bar. That's a pretty great.
Well,
title
I
to
mean,
have there.
the Bills can't say they'll sweep the NFC South because they lost to the Falcons. So
True.
and then the Bills have the Buccaneers coming in this week. But so yeah, we talked about Drake a little bit for the MVP. I don't think he's going to get it because I don't think this team is. Don't get me wrong, Drake's doing great stuff, but this team's got a legitimately good defense. Drake is making the plays he needs to make. Your guy Travion Henderson showed up this week. They actually let him carry the ball.
Yeah, they actually let him touch the ball. That was so nice of them.
That was nice of them. Yep. I mean, Vrabel is obviously an excellent coach. He's pushing the right buttons. The schedule helps. You mentioned it. Like the schedule's not too difficult. I think their hardest game the rest of the way is they got to play Buffalo again. The Ravens. I think they play the Ravens week 16 or 17. And outside of that, it's like Jets, Dolphins. It's pretty manageable, I would say. So, anything else on this game before we move on?
Nope. I think we can move on to the late slate was pretty much you could snooze.
It was rough.
This is a good time to take a nap. Yeah,
It was rough. Yeah. Red Bryant presents Seahawks 44, Cardinals 22. Shout out to a good friend of the show, Trang. They got Rashid Shaheed. They didn't really need him in this game, but have him anyway. This was 38-0, like pretty quick, or like 35. It was.
Well, they had
they
had the exact same defensive touchdown scored 2 times because
Right.
it was a like fumble caused by the same guy, and then DeMarcus Lawrence picked it up and scored.
So I have the Seahawks defense in fantasy. So when the game started, I was looking pretty good, and then they gave up these garbage points, and it hurt my score because they gave up too many points. But yeah, no, the Seahawks obviously they got the big one this week against the Rams, but I think I do think Clint Kubiak is kind of coaching his way into potentially head coach discussions. The way his and listen, I said this when they hired him. Like when the Saints were healthy with Kubiak as offense coordinator, they scored 91 points in 2 games, and now they're relatively healthy in Seattle. Sam Darnold's playing well. Now he's got Shaheed. JSN's having a career year. Their running back situation.
Why isn't Sam Darnold getting MVP consideration? Is my question.
It's a good question. I mean, it's not a bad question. If we're giving it to a quarterback anyway, and he's having as good of a quarterback season as anyone else. This kid, Nick Imanwari, that they drafted, we talked about it during draft season. Like the only 2 teams that guy could have gone to were the Ravens or the Seahawks, and he ended up in the Seahawks. And
because the Seahawks are coached by the old Ravens defensive coordinator,
right? Too, exactly. So yeah, that helps. Yeah, I think Mike McDonald needs to get a little Coach of the Year love too. But we'll see. Like I said, this big week this week against the Rams coming up. So Seahawks are sitting pretty right now. They're technically the NFC West leader at this point.
Yeah, we'll get to that game pretty soon because
Cardinals,
that's going to be a big one.
That will be a big one. Cardinals looks like the end is near for Kyler Murray. I just don't know where he goes. The most hilarious team I heard is Pittsburgh because, like, of course, like, what else is Pittsburgh going to do? Rodgers is going to leave after this year. Like, yeah.
I've already told you I need the Steelers to sign Joe Flacco to complete the
right.
The AFC North quadumvirate or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then the Cardinals. Yeah, they have a first-round pick. They didn't trade their first-round pick. I think
I don't think so.
But they're not. I mean, they're gonna screw around and win too many games to be in a decent spot. I would think for.
I don't know if they'll win too many games.
Well, fair enough.
We'll see.
And
we'll
see.
See.
Listen, Jacoby Brissett, this game notwithstanding, has played somewhat well.
He has.
Before.
Yeah, he's been. Well, that's what he gives you is like the sort of like competent, like high floor, low ceiling quarterback play.
You can get through another season with Jacoby Brissett if you need to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Next year. And then just reset the books, get rid of Kyler's contract, reset the books, and then 2027, hope for the best. And maybe they end up with your guy, Arch Manning, in a draft. Who knows? Up next, the other NFC West matchup this week brought to you by Kermit Alexander Jr. Rams 42, 49ers 26. Okay, so let's start with the 49ers. So now is when this slide starts for the 49ers? Now is when they're going to...
I still feel like they're going to be okay. Like, I don't think they're going to fall off a cliff, but I think they're going to struggle to reach, like, any sort of ceiling. Like, I think they're probably going to limp into the playoffs. They're probably going to win because their schedule's still not, like, a gauntlet.
That's the key.
And
their schedule, yeah.
I think that prevents them from like falling off a cliff, but it feels like they have a decent floor. They don't have the ceiling that they would with the defensive players that they're missing, and so like they're going to probably end up being okay, limping into the playoffs, and then just like end up getting beaten by a team that's just more talented and healthier once they get to the playoffs.
This is the 49ers schedule the rest of the way. At Cardinals, home Panthers, at Browns, home Titans, at Colts, home Bears, which again, that's a Sunday night game, which will probably stay a Sunday night game. I'm guessing is because it's going to matter. And then they home Seahawks. So yeah, I think the 49ers are going to be okay, even if Purdy can't. I'm guessing Purdy's coming back at some point. Mac Jones hasn't been that bad, honestly. It's more to your point. It's the defense that's been a problem with all the injuries. But yeah, they still have to play the Browns and the Titans. They do have to go to the Colts for a Monday night game, that'll be fun. If if Colts continue to play like they are. Moving on to the Rams, My Rams making it to the NFC Championship game bet looks pretty good right now. I would say. I mean, I think the NFC is going to go through the West either way. It's either going to be the basically whoever wins this game this week, maybe between the Rams and the Seahawks. I know we'll talk about your least favorite team, the Eagles, here in a little bit, but the Eagles don't overly impress me. I know they beat the Rams early this season, but like
the Eagles are a team built around their defense, and that's
right.
basically my
right
take on that.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about them more. But yeah, Stafford, look, I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Rich Eisen mentioned it on his show. Like, this is the season that's getting Stafford in the Hall of Fame. Like, this is kind of his season where he's making it clear, like, this is who I am. I am this good. Maybe he ends up with the MVP. Who knows?
You know that this is his all-time win-loss record is now finally at 500.
Well, yeah, because all those years with the Lions.
Those years with the Lions.
But and remember coming into the season, everybody was worried about his back.
Like, yeah, because he was in the immortal chamber. We tried to buy one for
right,
or
whatever. He had to get like a. Didn't he have to get an epidural shot at one point? We were.
He did, about yeah. Anytime.
Yeah. Well, now he's putting the team on his back, and yeah, and then Puka's healthy. I mean, as long as Puka and Devontae are healthy, they're probably going to be okay. And Kyron Williams is running the ball pretty well, so I don't have much worries about the Rams. A team I do have. Go ahead.
It doesn't look like the immortal chamber is going on sale for Black Friday, Paul. I got bad news for you.
Oh, that's a shame. I was well, you spoiled your Christmas gift. I was gonna see if I could swing it for you, but a team I do have worries about. This game brought to you by Dick Stanfill. Lions 44, Commanders 22. It's not the Lions. The Commanders. I think they're done. I think we're good. Jane Daniels not playing again this week. They're going to Madrid to play the Dolphins.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I think to just call this a lost season and let's just move on if you're the Commanders.
Remember when me and you talked about how they were going to have regression this year, and we were right.
Yeah,
Paul, we were right.
Now, just to be fair, I don't think we expected the injuries that they had, but maybe you did. But I
mean, I could. It was definitely like not out of the question. That's
right.
Certainly, I will say that.
The Lions. The news with them this week was Dan Campbell took over play calling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw that.
Did you see Amon-Ra St. Brown's dance in the end zone?
Oh, what did he do? The Trump dance?
Yeah, he did. Trump was at the game, and so
Trump was Trump was on commentary for a little bit. I didn't listen to it. But
I did not know that.
Yeah, he went up in the booth with Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma, and I didn't hear it. I know he was there.
The dance is funny. Okay, can we say the dance is funny?
It is.
It is funny. Dance.
Yeah, I will say that. Trump also made news this week because he said he wants the new stadium in Washington to be named after him.
Did you?
Someone retweeted it and said, "We already have the Orange Bowl."
Oh, that's not the one I saw. You want? The one I saw was
careful.
The pedo lands.
Oh man. Moving on.
And that's the end of this show.
So that's the end of this show. We just got canceled. Another former politician here, Jack Kemp, presents Chargers 25, Steelers 10. Okay, so I'm going to ask you the same question I asked about the 49ers. So the Steelers now, is this where we start the
I
downswing.
in this one, I think I will say yes, and I will also point out I just found I read on Twitter today that apparently the nobody's seen Aaron Rodgers' wife yet. Like apparently, like
Still,
the the Steelers' wives and girlfriends and whatever. Apparently, they don't know who this woman is either.
that's great. That's great.
This is so funny. Like this guy's such an idiot. What a dope, man. He just-
Hey, Aaron, where is your wife?
where is it? Like at least what's his name? Manti Te'o, at least he got
Manti
catfished.
Te'o? Yeah.
Like Aaron Rodgers just made up somebody. Like this. He didn't get fooled by somebody. He just made it. It's like in middle school where you're like, I have a girlfriend. Oh, you don't know her. She goes to another school. that's what Aaron Rodgers' wife is doing.
Exactly. So the Chargers, real quick on them. I don't really know what to think about them. Like, I know Joe Alt's out the rest of the season. They traded for Trevor Penning from the Saints, which again, I didn't watch enough of the game to tell what was going on there. Like, I just, they just feel like a team they're going to kind of like the 49ers, like they're going to limp into the playoffs. They'll get a 7th seed or whatever. And
they're holding it together with like paper clips and glue right now, or paper clips and bubble gum or chewing gum. And like,
right.
When if the protection holds up, or like they're able to like get off enough quick game plays to work, then like they'll be okay. But like it's probably not going to get you very far in the playoffs.
I agree. All right. Last but not least, definitely. Well, actually, least probably. Monday night, Keith Jackson presents Eagles 10, Packers 7. This game stunk.
I'm sorry, Keith
Jackson. I texted my buddy who's
I am for real.
Right. This game smelled like boo, boo, boo.
Yeah.
So I watched like the first half because I know you couldn't watch it because of the ESPN situation. So I was like, well, let me try to watch as much of this game as I can. And after the first half, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, well, I sent you the text because I sent you the text. I was like, I just realized I can't watch this game. And you said, I'll try to watch as much as I can. And then I was getting ready to go to bed at halftime, and I checked the score, and I said, maybe I'm the one. Maybe I'm the one ended up with the better side of this deal.
So I did need to pay attention to this game because going into it, I was down 10 points in fantasy, and I had Dallas Goedert and my cousin Jake Elliott. And yeah, I ended up losing. Spoiler alert. But yeah, the Packers, let's start here. Their 3 losses this year, they've given up an average of 13 points in those 3 losses. So I sent you the clip from Get Up this morning on ESPN where it's like Jordan Love ain't him. You know, it was your classic coming up next segment. Like Matt LaFleur, people are like, well, maybe they should fire him. Let me tell you something, Packers fans. Please fire Matt LaFleur. You're gonna find out real quick if you fire Matt LaFleur. Like, what's okay? You gonna go hire Brian Daboll? Like, is that what you're gonna do?
He's gonna have a job
Really?
pretry quickly. I will say that much.
Yeah. I'm telling you. Listen, I mean, there's gonna be teams that fire their coach to hire Matt LaFleur. I'm guaranteeing there would be a team. I'm not saying it's one of our teams. I'm just saying that there would be somebody who would make that deal. But yeah, listen, obviously, yeah, look, Jordan Love's got to be better in these big game situations. I mean, they lost to the Browns, the Packers, and the Panthers. Oh no, the Browns, the Eagles, and the Panthers. Excuse me, they are the Packers.
And they tied the Cowboys, who have
And they tied the Cowboys. Now they
who-
scored 40 points against the Cowboys, which
Speaking of, if
not
you want to
saying much
compare,
with your defense, but yeah.
if you want to compare the Cowboys offense and the Eagles offense in this situation, look at let's also
That's true.
let's also remember that
It's
the
true.
Cowboys were missing CeeDee Lamb and
Yep.
4 starting offensive linemen in that game, and they still put up 40 points because they actually have they have a quarterback that can throw the ball. So
I did like I think it was Orlando. No, it was Ben Solak today who was basically like, this is the kind of game where the quarterback who's the better game manager is going to win, and it was Jalen Hurts. Which, yeah, I mean, look,
he is that's what he is a game manager.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, the Packers, they still have kind of their destiny in front of them, or whatever the saying is. They control their own destiny, kind of thing.
I have a question for you, Paul. Let me give you a hypothetical.
Okay.
You've given me some hypotheticals.
All right, yeah, shoot.
If you had to choose right now one quarterback, if you had to choose between Jordan Love and Caleb Williams to build your team around, who are you taking?
Ooh, buddy, that's a good one. I'm probably still going to go with Love because, again, this is one bad game. I mean, I know.
Well,
like Love,
I'm starting to say he start. So what I've seen and what kind of the analysis I've seen of him is all he wants to do is I'm just going to too many deep. He won't take the open thing. It's just I'm going to force this ball long and be ridiculous with it, and
see what I've seen is
the problem.
What I've seen is he throws it too much at the line of scrimmage. He's got a lot of. So I've kind of seen the out. Well, maybe
it's a little bit of it's either or basically, right? It's either it's here at the line of scrimmage or it's 50 yards downfield, and it's maybe let's not just do that.
Now I will say your guy Matthew Golden was not playing this game, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Which I don't know how big a part of the offense he's been anyway, but I'll just throw that out there just for context. I'm not going to panic on the Packers too much. Now, if they lose this upcoming week, maybe I push the panic button a little bit, but I'm gonna hold off on.
It's starting to get a little bit late around here.
They are the 7th seed right now in the NFC. Now the tie they have with the Cowboys helps because a tie basically gives you a half game advantage over teams that don't have a tie. So just something to keep an eye on. Speaking of the playoffs, so before we get on to week 11, just want to go through the playoff picture real quick. In the AFC, the 1 seed is the Colts. The 2 seed is the Broncos. The 3 seed is the Patriots. The 4 seed is the Steelers. Partying like it's 2007 around here. The 5th seed is the Chargers. 6th seed is the Bills. 7th seed is the Jaguars. For the moment, Chiefs are on the outside looking in. In the AFC, in the NFC, 1 seed, fortunately for you, buddy, is the Eagles. The 2 seeds, the Seahawks. 3 seed, the Lions. 4 seed, the Buccaneers. Rams, Bears, Packers are your 5, 6, 7 seed, respectively. So, Packers at Seahawks, 7-2, a rematch of playoff years gone by. And then Bears at Lions, Rams at Bucks. Those would be your NFC matchups. In the AFC, it'd be Jags at Broncos, Bills at Patriots, Chargers at Steelers, which that could easily be Chargers at Ravens. So we could end up getting a Harbaugh again.
Harbaugh.
which I think they had last. Didn't that happen last year? Wasn't it Ravens at Steelers in the playoffs, or
Ravens Steelers.
Ravens? Chargers Ravens. Excuse me.
No, because the Chargers lost to the Texans in the first playoff game.
That's right. I think that was on the board. That was on the table. Like Chargers Ravens was on the table, and then it ended up not happening. Real quick, the draft order. So right now, it's Titans 1, Saints 2, Giants 3, Browns 4, Jets 5, Raiders, Dolphins, Commanders, Bengals, and the Rams. That's right. The Rams have the 10th pick because the Falcons traded their first round pick to draft James Pierce, and they're now 3-6. So your Cowboys right in the meaty part of the curve at 12. The Chiefs are right now 17. 49ers are 18. That might not stay that way, but is what it is right now. Yeah, so actually I forgot the 49ers are on the outside looking in because of that tie that the Packers have. Because 5-3-1 is better than 6-4. Right.
Oh. We'll have to see how it plays out.
We'll have to see how it plays out. But yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see what the Rams end up with the Falcons pick, because it's very possible that it's also possible that your Cowboys have 2 top 18 picks.
It would be hilarious if the Packers just messed around and just missed the playoffs. Yeah. I would feel so much better about this whole situation.
So going into next year, the Cowboys could have Kenny Clark, Leonard Williams. I'm sorry, Quinnen Williams. Kenny Clark, Quinnen Williams. 2 top, maybe 15 picks if the Packers really screw around. Yeah, and then, man, and if you re-sign Pickens, man, you guys are going to might be cooking with gas there in Dallas. All right. You want to preview week 11 here?
All right, let's get to it.
Okay. Actually, hang on. Give me one second.
Don't forget the buys.
Yeah, I'll do the buys, but I got to reset real quick here. So we have 2 teams on a bye. My beloved Saints, their bye week brought to you by Dave Wilson, who up until this past week was the last rookie quarterback to win a game for the Saints in 1981. Tyler Shook now becomes the first person to do it since Dave Wilson. So Dave Wilson will present this week's bye for the Saints, and presenting the bye week for the AFC 1 seed Colts is Dick Horn. Now, folks that listen to the podcast may say, wait a minute, didn't you have a Dick Horn present a game a couple weeks ago? We did. I'm here to tell you, Brandon,
there are 2 Dick Horns.
There are 2 Dick Horns. There's Dick Horn with an E at the end of his last name, and there's this Dick Horn, which is just regular old H-O-R-N.
Because I said the other guy was Horn E.
That's right.
This guy is he's just Horn.
This guy's just, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you come to Bless Them Boys for analysis like that. So let's pick some games here. Starting with, who do we got here? We got Dick Felt. presents Jets at Patriots. Patriots are laying 11.5.
Speaking of George incidents, this is I think it moved.
Well, I think it moved, and then he felt her material, right?
Oh yeah.
So there you go. Okay, so I'm going to do Jets plus 11.5. But I'm taking the Patriots at a 14, which is not the max. The max this week is 15 on the confidence because we have 2 teams on a bye.
Okay, well, I'm going to be opposite you on the spread. I will take the Patriots minus the points.
Okay.
And I have Patriots 14.
All right, so you're going to match me there. All right, up next from Madrid. Apologies to the good folks in Spain. You deserve better than this, but Matt Turk is going to present Commanders at Dolphins. This is technically a Dolphins home game. Dolphins are laying 2.5. I'm going to lay the 2.5 for the Dolphins, and I'm taking the Dolphins at a 6.
I'm not falling for this. I'm taking the Commanders plus 2.5.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I had that at first. I had Commanders plus 2.5, and then I'm like, what's the difference? Who do you got in the confidence there?
I'm going to take the Commanders for the upset. Commanders 5.
All right. So this will be one we go head-to-head on here. So we got 2 head-to-head. Oh, by the way, last week we went head-to-head on 10 games. You won 6-4, I think.
Oh.
Let me check here. Let me. Yeah, you won 6-4 for the season. We have gone head-to-head, not counting the 2 that we just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
We were going into this week. We went head-to-head 60 times. You were up 32-28. So
all right.
Meant to highlight.
There's a feather in my cap.
There's a feather in your cap. Up next, Don Terry Poe presents Panthers at Falcons. Falcons are laying 3.5. How the hell the Falcons are laying points to anybody, I don't know. But I'm laying the points with the Falcons, so what the hell do I know? I just don't trust either of these teams. I went Falcons 7. So
Okay, I'm gonna take the Panthers plus the 3.5.
Okay.
Panthers 6.
All right, so we're really head to head here. These two. Panthers 6, you said?
Mm-hmm.
All right, up next, Reggie Rogers presents Bucks at Bills. This might be one of the games of the week to keep an eye on. Bills laying 5.5. I am taking the points with the Bucks, so I got Bucks plus 5.5, and I got Bills at a 5.
Bills minus 5.5.
There you go.
And Bills 7.
All right. Bills 7. Up next, we've got Natron Means Business. Chargers at Jaguars. Jaguars are getting 2.5. Wait, this doesn't make any sense. I can't do this. Hang on. Okay.
What happened, Paul?
So I had Chargers laying 2.5, but then I had the Jaguars in the confidence. So that doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
I think originally I took the points with the Jaguars is what happened. So actually I need to make sure my ESPN thing's right. So I'm going to lay the 2.5 with the Chargers, and I'll have Chargers at a 4.
Guess what, Paul?
Jaguars plus 2.5.
Take Jaguars plus 2.5. And I'm taking Jaguars. Jaguars 3.
I think that's what I originally had, except I had Jaguars at a 4. Let me just consult my because I have it in my spreadsheet, but I'm let me make sure I got it right on my actual picks. That would be hilarious if I. Yep. So yeah, let me change that real quick. Okay, good. Up next, shout out to our buddy. Is Andy still with us in the chat?
I don't think so.
Well, shout out to Andy anyway. McCole Pruitt presents Bears at Vikings. Vikings laying 3.5. I don't want to jinx my buddy Andy, so I'm going to do Vikings minus 3.5. Vikings at a 3. Let me guess. Bears plus 3.5.
Bears plus 3.5.
Bears
and
what?
Bears 8.
Okay. Again, that was more from my buddy Andy. I don't want to jinx him.
Oh, Andy is still here.
Oh, is he? Okay. Shout out to Andy.
Oh, nice.
There you go, buddy. I'm trying not to jinx you. All right. Up next, Potsy Jones. Presents.
What is it they used to say? Oh, sit on it, Potsy.
Yes.
From Happy Days. Do you
Yeah.
Are you a Happy Days watcher?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
He presents Packers at Giants. Giants are getting 7.5. All right. I'm taking Giants plus 7.5. Packers 13.
Finally, we agree on one. Giants plus 7.5.
There we go.
And
Yeah.
Packers, where are you? Packers 13.
It took Potsy Jones to bring us together.
You know,
I have a feeling
smoking some potsy.
Yeah. I have a feeling we're going to be on opposite sides here. Solomon Wilcots, who longtime NFL analyst, presents Bengals at Steelers. I will remind you the Bengals did beat the Steelers earlier this season on a Thursday night. The Steelers are laying 4.5 here. I'm taking Bengals plus 4.5, but I'm taking Steelers at a 12.
I'm with you. I'm Bengals 4.5. And
Bengals plus 4.5 and
Steelers 10.
10. All right. We're back on track. I'm back, baby. All right, up next, Lonnie Johnson Jr., Saints legend Lonnie Johnson Jr. presents Texans at Titans. Titans are getting 7.5. I'm taking Titans plus 7.5. Texans at an 8.
I'm laying those points. Texans minus 7.5. Texans 15.
All right, buddy.
This is more of a commentary on how bad I think the Titans are than anything about the Texans.
I just don't trust the Texans, but yeah, I guess the Titans are that bad. All right, up next, 49ers at Cardinals. This one brought
the Titans have won one game.
Titans have won one game.
Required and it required the Cardinals to do like 5 of the most insane things I've ever seen done on a football field, all to happen at once. So, like, that's about my level of confidence in that team.
You make a fair point. 49ers at Cardinals. This one brought to you by Louisiana Tech legend Tim Rattay. This one we got the Cardinals plus 2.5. I am going 49ers minus 2.5. 49ers 9.
49ers minus 2.5. 49ers 12.
Yeah. All right. All right. Up next, the big one, big showdown here. Seahawks Rams brought to you by that Al Cowlings. Do you remember how Al Cowlings is?
No, I do not.
He was the gentleman driving the Ford Bronco with OJ in the
backseat. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yep, I'm pretty sure it's that Al Cowlings, but he presents.
How many Al
Seahawks
Cowlings
Rams
have there been?
Look, I don't know. I don't want to. I'm just saying. Rams laying 2.5. I am laying the points with the Rams. Rams minus 2.5. Rams at a 1.
Okay. I am Seahawks plus 2.5. Seahawks plus 2.5. Seahawks.
I figured
1.
you would be.
Seahawks 1. And I should point out that I told Trang that we're gonna have we're gonna have a little we're gonna have to have a little wager, because I told Trang, I said that Cowboys Raiders game will outrate every Seahawks game this season.
For full context, Trang tweeted unsolicited. She just tweeted out they should flex the Monday night game to Seahawks Rams because nobody wants to watch Cowboys Raiders. I, from the show account, retweeted and said, all due respect to Brandon, but Trang's right. And then you said, we all know that Cowboys Raiders going to outdraw Seahawks Rams, which if I'm being honest, I think you were a little disrespectful to our friend Trang.
Well, to be honest, let's see who's right.
Okay, well, fair enough. I think you were a little. Yeah, you were quick to dismiss. You were quick to dismiss our friend Trang.
Oh, that's right.
You're very
yeah,
quick
that's
to
right.
dismiss.
Yeah, I was gonna quick to
Yeah, that's
dismiss.
right.
No, I would let me tell you, I would.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
That's right. I would love for this game to be flexed out so I could actually watch it on my television instead of having to go to Pluckers to watch this. So there's that.
That's true. That's true. Well, I don't think you have to go to Plucker. Well, I guess maybe you do. Paul Kruger, presents Ravens at Browns. Browns plus 7.5. I'm going Ravens minus 7.5. Ravens 15.
Ravens minus 7.5. Ravens 9. You know I'm not going to trust this team to take care of business. The Ravens will fart around and lose a stupid game. This is one of those possibilities right here.
Yeah, this was the one I was thinking of when you were talking about it earlier. But hopefully you're way wrong.
You said you're laying the points, right?
Laying the points, and it's Ravens 15 for me. All right, another big game. So 2 big games in this late window here. Chiefs at Broncos. This one brought to you by Michael Dean Perry. Shout out to our buddy Donnie. Chiefs at Broncos. Broncos plus getting 3.5. I'm going Chiefs minus 3.5. Chiefs 11.
I'm also apologies to our friend Donnie, but I'm taking Chiefs minus 3.5 and Chiefs at a 11.
So we should point out this is probably good news for Donnie, because if we both are on, we're both way on the Chiefs, then probably means they got a shot. All right,
they should at least cut. They'll at least cover the spread.
Right. Sunday Night Football. Jim Thrower, by the way, was not a quarterback, played defensive back. But Jim Thrower presents Lions at Eagles. Eagles are laying 1.5. I'm going to go Eagles minus 1.5. Eagles 10.
Oh, man. Andy is talking some trash over here. Andy says Donnie sucks.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Speaking of being quick to dismiss.
I know, you're very quick to dismiss. What you got in this one?
All right, I'm going to take Lions plus 1.5 and Lions 2.
Sure. All right. Sounds good. Okay. Who do you? The Monday night game's you, buddy. Who you got presenting the Monday night game?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me hold on. I forgot to look this up.
You want to go Wade Wilson? I think Wade Wilson counts.
We've used Wade Wilson before. Not the murderer.
No. He's not the murderer.
Streets. Let's go. Oh no, he didn't play for the Raiders. Andre.
You could use Leroy. Could you use Leroy Glover?
That's true, but I got something better for you.
Okay.
Andre, don't call me Priest Holmes.
Nice. Andre Holmes. Raiders are plus 3.5. I'm taking the 3.5 with the Raiders. I'm taking Raiders at a 2.
Raiders plus 3.5. Raiders 4.
There you go. So, in summary, we are going to be head-to-head on 9 games this week. So that means for the season, we will be head-to-head 69 games. Nice. We should just pick all the same for the rest of the season.
Yeah. just end up on 69 games.
We've got what? 2, 4, 6. We got 7 weeks left after this, and oh man. I did want to. Donnie did have another email I forgot to mention here. Let me make sure we give Donnie his time here. It's a short one. This one's regarding Monday Night Football. He sent this before last night's debacle of a game. After tonight, the Eagles-Packers game, here's the rest of the Monday Night Football game. So you got Cowboys-Raiders this Monday, Panthers-49ers, Giants-Patriots, Eagles-Chargers, Dolphins-Steelers, 49ers-Colts, Rams-Falcons. That's your Monday Night Football slate for the rest of the year. As Donnie points out, really only two attractive matchups the rest of the year. Struggling to see what the NFL saw going into the season with some of these. Meanwhile, this week you have Bills, Bucks, Seahawks, Rams, Broncos, Chiefs, though no one probably wants to watch the Broncos again.
Yeah, not after that. Not after that Thursday night showing they had.
Right. I did want to bring up because I was kind of thinking. I was kind of thinking what Donnie's thinking because we're in that window of you can flex games, right?
Right.
The one Monday night game I would look at if they're gonna flex it would be week what week is this? Week 15. It's Dolphins Steelers. Here's some of the other options that week. You've got Colts Seahawks. You've got Lions Rams. Packers Broncos. Bills Patriots. Chargers Chiefs. And Ravens Bengals. And the only reason I mentioned that game is Joe Burrow's back at practice, folks.
Right. He's targeting a week 13 or week 14 return.
So if Burrow's back, that Ravens Bengals game becomes a lot more interesting. So my point being, ain't nobody want to watch Dolphins Steelers on a Monday night if you've got these other games as your options.
I don't even want to watch Dolphins Steelers on a Sunday afternoon. that's a wouldn't raise the blinds game right there.
That's a flex it to Tubi at
exactly
5 a.m. game. Yeah. And also I do want to mention another thing we have to keep our eye on for week 18. I think I bookmarked this tweet. Give me a second. Let me find it. Kind of what are the big matchups going into to week 18 to kind of keep an eye on for that game 272, right? What's going to be the Sunday night game? So I just want to give you a couple of options here as we kind of head down. I mean, we're kind of heading down the stretch of the season here. I'll just give you a couple games that could be potential. We got Chargers Broncos. That would be a good contender. How about Seahawks 49ers? Could be a contender. Panthers Bucks, which sounds silly, but the Panthers are only like a game and a half behind the Bucks right now, or 2 games behind the Bucks. So stranger things have happened. Colts Texans, again, it sounds silly, but that
could turn into a game with a consequential game, basically.
Consequential game. I would say the front runner right now would be Seahawks 49ers, because that could end up being a Seahawks need a win to win the division. 49ers need a win to get in the playoffs kind of situation.
Right.
Obviously, week 18 is all division games. How about Cowboys Giants? You want to put Cowboys Giants?
Now, speaking of games that nobody wants to watch, the thing about Cowboys games is because our defense sucks so bad, there's going to be some scoring somewhere. You're not getting a 10-7 game with the Cowboys primetime matchup.
True.
Let me tell you
That's
that.
True. You make a fine point. The other one I'll just mention is Lions at Bears. That could end up being Again, Lions might be trying to win the division. Bears might be just trying to get in the playoffs type of situation. It could end up being a situation like the Lions were in a couple of years ago where they had nothing to play for, but they beat the Packers to keep them out of the playoffs.
Right.
And they used that momentum to go into the following season. Probably one of the more signature wins of Dan Campbell's coaching career, honestly. So kind of sad to say, but we're getting down to the end of the year here. I will point out week 17, the Monday night game that week is Rams-Falcons. There's an Eagles-Bills game that week. There's a Texans-Chargers, a Ravens-Packers, Broncos-Chiefs. There's Saints-Titans. That could be for the number 1 pick. You want to put that on Monday night?
There we go.
That's when I know the NFL has gone off the deep end, where they're just like, hey, these two teams suck. One of them's going to get the number 1 pick.
Galaxy Brandon, who wants it less?
Yes. Somebody must lose. And that's the thing. They put a rule in just for that game. Like, there will be no ties. One of you has to lose. Like you gotta. The ref pushes one guy over the goal line so they score, so the other team loses. Yeah. I don't know, man. Getting down. Does it feel? We kind of talked about this last week. Does it feel like the playoff teams are almost already set? Like, I just don't see any teams that are like around this time of year is when you usually see a team that kind of gets hot and kind of comes out of nowhere. You
gotta give them more than 1 week, Paul. We're only at the middle. We still got 7 weeks to go. If they're getting hot, you're only going to see the first couple of weeks of it so far.
They're simmering right now. They're not boiling yet. They're just kind of simmering. Okay.
I mean, I think there's some teams that could still I think the Texans could go on a run if they stop being, farting in their own faces with the offense. Score more than 18 points. I guess the 49ers could get back into the playoffs because their schedule is easy. I still think there's some chances for teams to put it together.
To me, the team to watch is the Ravens. If the Ravens can turn it around, the Steelers are gonna maybe make it easier for them. I do. That Burrow news today is interesting because now he's back at practice. They have 3 weeks to activate him. So, I don't want to go through the same thing I went through last year, which is like, hey, the Bengals.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this.
I'm not
again.
doing that. Not doing that again. But at least it'll make the Bengals interesting going down the stretch here.
What is Joe Flacco not enough? Is Joe Flacco not good enough for you, Paul? Is that what you're saying?
No disrespect to future Steeler Joe Flacco. We really got to get that. We got to get that going. All right, buddy. I think we're good for the week. Anything else you want to say to the fine folks? Shout out to Andy for hanging with us tonight.
Yeah, appreciate it, Andy. We'll let Donnie know. We'll give Donnie the chance. Give Donnie the chance to respond in his dispatch this week.
I'm sure. Yeah, he'll have some problems with you people, and he'll let you know.
He'll let you know about it.
Yeah. So next week, we're inching closer and closer to Thanksgiving. By the way, Brandon, I meant to mention this to you before we turned the mics on, but we were scrambling trying to figure out our technical situation here. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally missed this. We got to do our live and our
that's right.
Ups. Hang on. Almost forgot. Please hold. Well, maybe not.
This is not good.
There he goes.
Worlds are colliding.
George is getting upset.
totally almost missed that. Okay, last week my upset was Eagles over Packers, so that hit. I got to give myself credit for that one. Hang on, give me a second. Your upset was Patriots over Bucks, so that hit as well. So for the season, let me get to this. I am 5-5. Even Steven, you are 3-7 on the upset. So I will defer to you, sir. What's going to be your upset pick of the week here?
I am going to take the. I want to make it interesting. I'll go Bears over Vikings.
All righty.
What about you, Paul?
So Andy's
What you
definitely
got?
Andy's screwed. Andy's screwed now. I got to check. I don't think I picked a lot of. I didn't take a lot of points this week.
I thought
I took a couple, but let me see.
you took the Bucks.
Here.
You took the Bucks with the points there.
Yeah, but I took the Bills and the confidence. I'm looking for one.
You don't have to. You don't have to play by the rules. You don't have to pick one that you. No one's going to care if your upset pick is also one that you picked in the confidence.
You sure?
Yeah.
You know what? What the hell? I'll go Raiders over Cowboys. How about that?
Okay. There we go. I appreciate that.
That'll yeah. I'm gonna help. I'm helping you out. I'm trying to help you out. All right. So then let's move on to our locks of the week.
Come on, Jerry, it's a lock. Kramer, you've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now.
All right. Let me review. So last week I had Colts over Falcons. Had to sweat that one out, but
Yep.
it hit. You did not have to sweat out Lions over Commanders. Excuse me. So I am now 8-2 for the year. You've taken over. You're 9-1, so you're a game ahead of me.
There we go.
On the locks. So I think that means I get to choose first, if that's correct.
Yeah, you're up.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
So let's see. I will go. No, I don't want to do that because I don't want to. I'm going to help our friend Trang out. I'm going to go Rams over Seahawks.
Ooh, that's a dicey one.
It's dicey, but if anything, I'll help our good friend Trang out. After you were so dismissive of her.
That's right. That's right.
On Twitter.
I'm going to take
that's right.
the. I mean, my highest confidence pick for this week is Texans over Titans, but that would be me just picking against the Titans again, which I've done like 3 times already. So I'll take Packers.
Yeah.
I'll take Packers over Giants.
Packers over Giants. Yeah, I was counting. You have picked against the Titans 3 times, and you have won.
There we go.
Times, so. Your only, by the way, your only loss technically was Packers over Cowboys, and that was a tie. So I mean,
oh yeah, because that was a tie. So I'm kind of 9-0-1 in this.
Yeah, if you want to look at it that way, sure.
That's how I'm going to look at it.
My 2 were, I had Falcons over Dolphins, and I had Lions over Vikings, which were 2 like really dumb losses in both of those cases. That was like that game where it's like, oh yeah, McDaniel's going to definitely get fired, and then they go to Atlanta and just blow the doors off, and then
right.
McCarthy comes back for the Vikings against the Lions and just lights them up. So,
yep.
Crazy times. All right, so we got our upsets in. We got our locks in. We were eliminated from Survivor because of me a while back. I take full responsibility for that.
The Paul curse.
The Paul curse. Yep. All right, boys and girls. Thanks again for hanging out with us, Andy. Thanks for keeping us company here. We will be back next week. we're getting down to we're coming up on Thanksgiving here. So this is week 11 coming up. Week 13 is Thanksgiving week. So and it should be a pretty good slate of Thanksgiving games. Packers, Lions, Chiefs, Cowboys.
I know. Don't remind me,
Paul. So wait a minute. So it's possible that Burrow's back for Thanksgiving night against the Ravens, right?
Well, let's hope so. So the game's actually like watchable.
I mean,
or you could get a you could get a Joe Flacco revenge game though. That may be even better.
True. You could get a Joe Flacco revenge game. Absolutely. So yeah, again, shout out. Thanks to Andy for hanging out with us. Thanks to you all for listening. We'll catch everybody next week. Hope everybody, again, happy Veterans Day. Salute to the veterans out there. And yeah, take care of yourself, folks. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. If you need help, ask for it. Don't be afraid to ask for help. We appreciate everybody. We'll see everybody next week. Until then, happy football.
Happy football. There we go.